Love, love, love till I feel the breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello, welcome to Spirit of Life. My name is Geraldine Lee, your host, and our guest is Pat La Manna. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you, Geraldine. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're the founder of the Passion Play.
I am, yes.
Yes. Before we hear about the Passion Play, I might find out a bit more about your family background and how you came about to be in Australia.
It's a long story. My father came to Australia in 1922, the first trip. He made 3 trips. The last one was in 1936. Then the war broke out, and we lost contact for 5 years. And my mother, with the 4 children in Italy, without support, financial support from anybody, we had hard time, hardship and everything else to go with it. And then when the war finished, my father decided to call Australia home. So I migrated to Australia in 1948. And I came by plane because then there was no ship available. And for the first 6 months when I arrived here, I went to Colac, digging up potatoes and pick up onions off the ground, take the tops off, and was hard work. But I did well. But of course, because of potatoes and onions don't talk, in 6 months I didn't learn one word of English. if I did, they're not the words I can repeat.
But that didn't stop you from becoming a successful fruiterer.
Well, the funny thing about that, when I had an uncle living in Melbourne, and when I arrived, we stayed with my uncle for 2 days, and there was a fruit shop around the corner in Brunswick Street. And I looked at that fruit shop and I said to myself, one day soon I will have a fruit shop. That was my dream, And 3 or 4 years later, I started my own fruit shop in West Preston.
You have great dreams.
Yes, for some unknown reason, I seem to be able to see ahead of time, And when I was young, I was full of dream, and fortunately, all my dream that I had when I was a young boy become true. But reality.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you have done great projects and works to support the community.
Well, I hope I have. I did my best, and the best thing that happened to me really was when a Lions Club invited me to join the Lions Club, and at the same time, a few weeks later, I won. My wife and we won the 3rd prize in Tedesal for $700, and we received a letter from a doctor. He had 8 children, and one them was blind, but he couldn't afford to buy the braille, and so I gave the whole $700 to this boy, and that was the beginning when I found out that give you a wonderful feeling to help the needy. And because I went through hardship for a number of years during the war, I know what hardship is all about, and I know what the hunger is all about, but I experienced it myself. And therefore, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't be so generous. I hope I am generous, but I love giving. And fortunately, my wife, she feels the same as I do.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I fully believe that giving is receiving.
Yes.
Yes.
And God blessed you with a banana business many years ago.
Well, it did. My first 25 years in Australia, after 6 months in Colac, we moved to Melbourne, and I started a fruit shop in West Preston. Mm-hmm. And one day, one of my customers came in fruit shop, and she said, Pat, my little girl left the school, and she's looking for a job. She was only 14. And I said, where's your little girl? And she said, oh, outside, my two little brothers. And I look at her and I thought, oh, she's wonderful, she's fantastic. Was love at first sight. And now we have been married for 52 years,
Wow.
happily, only because I give in all the time. And but we have 4 children, 10 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren.
Fantastic.
And 52 years of a happy marriage. Yeah, wonderful life. God has been good to me.
Yes, and you also did help some orphans overseas. The children who have been disabled. That's one of your charities you've helped.
Yes, one of the man who played Jesus in the Passion play, he did for 2 years. After he finished, he sold all his house and his car and all his what he owned, and he went to Africa and opened up an orphanage. In the meantime, he got married and he married a nurse, and now he opened up an orphanage already a few weeks back, and we help him. It's one of my charities that we do help on a regular basis.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, and what qualities do you think help to give you success?
Well, I don't know. Success is I don't know. But a lot of people said, how do you manage to get where you got? I don't even know. Just determination. See, when I come up with something, I must put to action. That's my nature. And naturally, I failed a few things, but I did well in fruit shops. And then in 1972, I started bananas. And for a while, I run 2 fruit shops and bananas, but it was too much. And one of my friend, his priest, he said to me one day, Pat, if you continue to do what you're doing, you're going to be the richest man in the cemetery. And I've never forgotten that. And of course, then I thought, okay, I'm doing too much. By that time, I was 40 years old.
Yes.
And
I might have to stop you there, but it's fantastic about your story. And after the break, I'll ask you more questions about that.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
You've been watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Go till I feel much breath of the Spirit flowing in me. Go till I feel much breath of the Spirit flowing in me.
Hello, welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Geraldine Lee, your host, and our guest is Pat La Manna. He's the founder of the Passion play. Hello, Pat.
Hello, Geraldine. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's been wonderful you sharing about how that priest made an impact on you when he said that you're the richest man in the cemetery, something like that.
If I had to continue.
Oh, you would. Oh, if you continued where you were going.
That's right. And so I decided to sell my fruit shops and just keep the bananas.
Oh.
And so I had to learn again. I had to wholesale bananas, and we did that for 25 years or so. And it was a great success. So we had a big business at the end. I started off with nothing, and I had to learn how to ripen bananas and to merchandise them, because, selling bananas in a fruit shop is like everything else. So you buy and sell, put your margin on. But when you're a wholesaler, it's different altogether. You've got to learn how to ripe bananas, where you get them from, and recruiting good growers, which I did. And thanks to God that they believe in me, everything I tell them, and they believe me and they trust me. And we had a huge business. But then a few years later, I think around about 25 years, my boys come into the business, and they got too big, and they decided to sell.
I see.
And I had to give my blessing, because if I don't and something happened, then they blame me. So I got my blessing, I sold the bananas, and I
Yes.
start to take it easy.
Yes. So by giving up the fruit shop, you actually got bigger, and did that mean you had more time for the family?
Yes. So spend more time with the family, which was great, and but at the same time, not as much I would like to spend with family, because banana business is very demanding. It's 7 days a week, and they don't keep like apples do. They put in a store, and in cool rooms, and they last for quite a long time. Bananas they only got 14 days life.
I see. So you need to really measure and.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were telling me also you had a stroke at one point, and that really changed your life.
I did have we went to Italy on a pilgrimage, and my wife, she's a very Padre Pio fan, and she wanted to go and see Padre Pio, and the bus was waiting for us outside, with the other group. We went with the group, and I collapsed. And within a quarter of an hour, I was at the Baggio Hospital, the biggest hospital in Italy, which all the good specialists in Italy, they gone through that hospital. 20,000 people work in that hospital. And so I was lucky that it happened there. And I spent 13 days, and I had time to bargain with God. I didn't worry. I was 65 then, and I thought, okay, God, if you want me, you can have me. But you let me leave, I will do a lot of work for you. For the rest of my life, I will work for charity. And I have been doing that. And I started, year 2000, I started my own cancer and stroke research foundation.
Wow.
And they, at the moment, the foundation stands at $1.7 million. And the interest of that goes to half to the stroke foundation research, and half to the cancer research foundation.
That's wonderful.
And my target is to reach $2 million. Yeah. And plus other things I do through the Lions Club, and plus we got their own, my wife, my family charities, so we'll build up over the years, and we want to keep them going.
Yes.
Yeah.
And through all your charity work, you won the Best Australian Award for the Older Australian?
Yeah, the Senior Australian of the Year,
I see.
2009. And this was the greatest. And I got OIM 1998. And then Australian of the Year, and then I got the Pope knighthood as well.
Wow. What does OAM mean?
Order of Australian Medal.
I see.
Yeah, it's a great honour.
That's great.
I feel that I could not believe that this would happen to me, because I came out here at the age of 16. I had a very poor education in Italy, because all my school years was during the war, and it was not teachers there. Then I come out here, and I had no English education. So the English language that I know is homemade language. It's the language I pick up by listening to other people talking.
Wow, so you never went to university?
Oh, well, university, no.
And yet, one of the most successful men I've heard about.
Fortunately, in the fresh fruit industry, you don't need a university degree. What you need is common sense. And which very uncommon
today.
Yes, that's right. And fortunately, God helped me all the way. It's been good to me. Everything I pray for, He granted.
Yes, and I've seen you're a very hard-working man. And
well, I have. I started working when I was 12, and I got no intention to stop. Of course, now I can't work physically, but mentally I think I can. Although my wife doesn't think so. I'm only joking.
And you also have a great believer in anti-discrimination, like you don't like prejudice against races.
No, definitely not. No, I think we all brothers and sisters, and everybody's should have equal opportunity, and I think will happen one day.
Yeah,
So the sooner the better.
That's a great value to have.
Yeah, the gap at the moment between who have and who have not is too big.
Yes.
We must reduce that gap. It's unfair for people who have starving, and no one in the world should starve.
Yes, and I think because you've given so much, you've decreased the gap in your part of the world.
Yes,
where you are.
That's right. Yeah,
and that's wonderful. And it's very inspiring. Some people build bigger barns like they do in the church. I mean, in the Bible it says, that people build bigger barns, but you give, which is great. We're going to have to go for a break now.
Okay.
But it's great and inspiring.
Thank you.
You've been watching Spirit of Life. Stay with us and we'll be back after the break. Hello, welcome back to Spirit of Life. I'm Geraldine Lee, your host, and our guest is Pat La Manna. He's the founder of the Passion Play. Hi, Pat.
Hello, Geraldine.
It's been great how you've been sharing about your background and how you were, through just not being able to speak English, and then you've really come to be one of the most successful men in Australia.
Yeah, well,
and all your awards, it's wonderful.
Yes, so I'm very... I feel that I'm blessed.
Yes.
Yep,
and you seem to have a very honest relationship with God. You just chat to Him. Is that your faith?
I do. I chat with God, and I fully believe that He listened to me.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And where do you go to church?
We got Sacred Heart Kew now.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we've gone to St. Gregory Doncaster for 35 years, but now in Kew, yeah.
And so faith has been a very important aspect of your life?
Absolutely. In fact, my whole life, I only miss out 3 Sundays.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And what did you miss the 3 Sundays? Why did you miss them?
It's a long story. Yeah.
maybe the next time.
It wasn't my fault. It just coincidence.
I see.
Yeah, not because I was sick. Beside the stroke, I've been a very healthy man.
Fantastic.
And I didn't think I'd get over, but God listened to me, and within 12 months I was well again.
Yeah, it's wonderful, that story.
Yeah.
And so that also inspired you with the Passion Play. And how did it begin, the Passion Play?
Yes, it's unique, very unique. We were at the St. Gregory Church on Good Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock service. And instead for me to participate in the service, my mind went to Germany. In Germany they have a Passion Play, which is well known all over the world. Been going for 350 years.
Wow.
And but only once every 10 years. And that message came to my mind: Pat, you are in charge to establish Passion Play in Melbourne. And I thought, I can't. I'm not well educated. That's the greatest story ever told. How can a person like me put that together? But fortunately, with the help of God, I started. I started 1990, took 12 months, 1998, and we had a property in Rosebud at the time, and for 2 years we did the Passion Play there, and it was a great success. In fact, one of the religious sisters has come along to me after play, and she said, Pat, this is the best Passion Play I've been. I've been to all of them, Germany and the Philippines, where they take seriously there. And I said, why, sister? Because I felt like 10 foot tall. She said, because this is the way it would happen 2,000 years ago. That's what we're doing. We didn't change. It's and plus that not only that we do exactly what would happen 2,000 years ago, we don't charge. It's free entry, non-denominational, and non-commercial. In fact, some people after Passion Play come along and offer them some money, and I say, no, just give it to the charity of your choice. And it's been going for this is the 18th year. And can you believe, because it's non-denominational, we don't ask questions when we interview the cast members, it took 16 years before we had Catholic man play part of Jesus. And that was unique,
It is unique.
And I didn't know. I didn't even know he was Catholic until just about a week before the actual play.
Yes, and many people come, and I've seen it, and it's fantastic. It's so real, and it really touches your heart.
I can't believe that so many people come along. We do help a lot of people spiritually. We don't preach, we just tell the story, and I think it's a good policy, because this is why we get people from all walk of life, and another thing too that I was very keen to establish multicultural Passion Play, and it took a few years, but now we have multicultural Passion Play from all different parts of the world. Now I'm looking forward for one day to have an African Jesus, and I hope it won't be long.
Yes, you've had a Chinese Jesus, an Indian Jesus, and next an African.
I'm looking forward to have an African Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. This year, I think the Jesus will be an Australian or Anglo-Saxon, isn't it?
Yes,
is that right?
Yeah, John Roach. Yeah,
Yes.
he's doing a good job. Yeah.
Yes, I visited your rehearsals, and it's been a wonderful cast you have, and great costumes.
Oh, the costumes they're really great. They're like the same type of costumes that would have 2,000 years ago. Yeah, we don't change anything,
Yes, and I love the horses that you have and the way they get dressed up in the armour. It's so realistic.
The only trouble we have is it's hard to get a donkey and the pigeons. So we're after pigeons and donkey, if we can. Anybody can spare that.
So any of the audience who have pigeons, donkeys, and also maybe more cast members, just a few more?
Yes, we are 3 short of disciples. We only got 9 at the moment, and we can do with but another half a dozen Roman soldiers. We like to have 20 Roman soldiers,
I see.
and we normally have that, but at the moment we haven't got 20. But
Yes, and when will the show be on?
it'll be on Palm Sunday, on the 13th of April, and start at 1:30.
Yeah, and I hear you're also performing in it.
Yep, yeah, I'm Lazarus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That will be exciting.
Yeah, but I believe Lazarus was a young man, and I'm not. So I don't know how people will react to that.
Yes, and I hear you have some very good stars who are semi-professional performers in your cast.
We do have that. Yeah.
Well, where will they find more information on the show?
On the website, passionplay.info. Simple as that. And it's got the all information there.
That would be
if you look
fantastic.
at that, and it'll be great to see a lot of people there, and I hope so.
Yes. Well, it's been fantastic and very inspiring hearing your story, and also hearing about the Passion Play.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best, Pat, and
Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to have you back another time.
And God bless you too.
You have been watching Spirit of Life. Join us again next week. Goodbye, and God bless you.